I got a second chance at life, just in the nick of time for my 5th anniversary with Emily. When she said she couldn't remember a thing, claiming, "I only recall having feelings for your brother, Michael," her tears were unstoppable, her face etched with sorrow. My kid Jake grabbed my hand too, saying, "Dad, don't fault Mom. She just wants to look after Uncle. He's a solid guy. You wouldn't want to see him all by himself, right?" The system chimed in, popping up like it did before. "It's cool if she's blank. You nailed it last time, and you can totally pull it off again. Just win over the love-struck second lady and reconnect with your son." I took a deep drag from my cigarette, pulled out a family photo of the 3 of us, and glanced at the picture of the shady woman on my phone. "System, I remember. I can switch up my game plan's target." "Yeah, right." "Huh." The system was taken aback. "You still have an unused chance to change your strategy's target." "Right," it repeated, clearly shocked. "But why switch? Emily just lost her memory. Plus, you've got a son together, Jake Thompson. If you tweak the strategy now, what's going to happen to him?" I resisted. "No way, I ain't down with that. In my past life, I bought into Emily's story, trying everything to help her regain her memory and rekindle our love. Instead, I watched her and Michael get closer. I'm sorry. Maybe we had some great times, but I don't remember any of it now. I only have feelings for Michael, no matter how hard I tried." She felt like a stranger, even wanting to discuss divorce with me and Jake. When I couldn't bear the agony of trying to bring back Emily's memory and clung to saving our marriage, Jake stood firmly by his mom's side. "Dad, you always said to help others. Why are you mad when Mom helps Uncle? You're so self-centered and annoying. Even my grandparents tried to convince me. Why are you making this so hard? Emily loves your brother now. She can't convince me otherwise. Why are you putting yourself through this? Emily's into your brother now. She doesn't remember you. Why are you clinging to this marriage? Anyway, Emily's into Michael. Even if you split, Jake's still part of the Thompson family. It's cool if Michael steps up as his dad. We're still family." Later, they started hating me. "Your brother's divorced. How sad. Don't you feel bad for him? He's into Emily. But since you wouldn't split, he's got to deal with the whole homewrecker label. He's your brother. How selfish can you be?" Eventually, depression took a toll on me. At the hospital, I saw Michael supporting Emily. She leaned into his arms. "Emily, maybe you should tell Alex you were faking the memory loss." Michael gently touched her slightly swollen belly. She hesitated. "We've been married 5 years. I'm scared it'll hurt him too much, but you keep dragging out the divorce. Your belly's growing. You can't hide it forever. And what about the baby? Should my kid call Alex Dad?" So Emily never actually lost her memory. The fake amnesia was just a cover for her fling with Michael. And I, being a fool, thought she loved me and tried to bring back her so-called memory. That day, I returned to an empty house and ended up with a high fever that night. I tried calling Emily, Jake, and my folks, but no one's answering. They were all celebrating Michael's birthday. The group chat was flooded with happy pics. I raised my hand and typed a few words. "I'm gonna die." The chat went silent. Just then, Michael called. "Alex, I know you've always been salty because our parents left you in the countryside for years to take care of my sick mom when we were kids, but we're family. Did you purposely skip my birthday? Do you hate your brother that much? If he doesn't want to come, then don't. We're not begging him." My dad's voice came through the phone saying, "You're gonna die." "Who are you trying to mess with? Where'd you learn that?" I snapped. My mom chimed in, Uncle, don't listen to Dad, it's midnight. Come blow out the candles." Jake's voice came through, laughing on the other end. As the phone slipped from my hand, I heard a mechanical voice say, "Mission failed. Host's side quest unsuccessful." But because I completed the marriage goal and redeemed valid points, I get one more shot to be reborn with the original system. The countdown began. 5, 4, 3, 2, and it hit me. This was just a side story. No wonder when I told the system I was cool with staying after the wedding, it stayed silent. Turns out, I never nailed the strategy, nor broke free from the plot's constraints. In the side story, the main guy divorces the original leading lady and ends up with the love-struck second female lead who still digs him. And me? I was just the villain in their side story. The obstacle in their love path, the spark for their feelings. I was someone no one would miss, even in death. Just then, Emily and Jake walked back. As soon as Jake saw me, he quickly stood in front of his mom. "Dad, please don't bring up the past today. She's worn out." "Yeah, she's exhausted. Michael officially finalized the divorce today, and she took Jake to help tidy up his new place." Thinking about it, I suddenly laughed. Emily frowned a bit. "Alex, what's so funny?" Her eyes landed on the cigarette between my fingers. I never smoked before because she hated the smell. "You know, Emily," I said, blowing out a slow puff of smoke. "Back in the day, when I used to read novels, I thought the love-struck second lady was kinda cute. But now I see, there's nothing cute about a love-struck second lady. She's just a simp." I pointed at her, then at Jake. Never thought the son of a female simp would turn out to be a male simp too. Must be genetic. Jake looked confused. "Dad, what are you on about? How can you diss your own kid like that?" "Alex, don't act like this just 'cause I helped Michael today," Emily said, getting impatient. "How can you be jelly of your own brother? Besides, I've been helping you dig up memories every day. I just wanted a day off." I interrupted. "What?" I stubbed out the cigarette and water and handed her the divorce papers from the table. "I've thought it through. If the memories are gone, they're gone. No biggie. I've already drafted the divorce papers. And I've also found my next partner recently. Let's help each other out and get divorced." "What are you saying?" Emily was stunned. "System, calm down. You can't handle Misty. That shady lady, she's a yanderer. You can't change the strategy target." The system exclaimed. "Yes, I'm specifically going after a villain." I smiled at the system. "Otherwise, who'd help me, the villainous male side character, take down the Carter family and the Thompson family?" "You mean..." Emily couldn't believe it. "You've got a next partner?" She stared at me, dumbfounded, and blurted out, "Yeah, Emily, that's impossible. She was Michael's simp, and in the past, wasn't I just Emily's simp? I put her first in everything, stayed by her side when she was down, took care of her when she was sick, even stayed up for days when she had a fever." "Alex, can you stop this nonsense?" Emily said with a dark look, throwing the divorce papers back on the table. "I told you, I have amnesia now. Sit back. Whether you're pretending to want a divorce or making up a new partner to make me jealous, it won't work. There's nothing in my heart now." I walked to the door, expressionless. Zhao Corporation was built by both of us after marriage. I want 30% of the shares, and I don't want custody of the kid. As soon as you sign, we can head to the Civil Affairs Bureau right away. She froze again. What does divorce mean? Is Uncle gonna be my dad now? Jake asked blankly. I ignored them, opened the door, and left. System, what the heck are you doing? Emily just lost her memory. She still cares about you. You're hurting her so much. The system kept babbling in my ear. System, should I clean up and head to the Carter Corporation? What? Where are you going? No way. You absolutely mustn't go after the Villainess. You'll regret it. Beep. I used 20 points to mute the system. Too noisy. I grabbed a fresh outfit and switched into it, then got a new hairstyle. Sir, you look sharp today. The hairstylist knew me and smiled. Yeah, planning something special with the missus? Actually, planning to cheat, I replied, checking myself in the mirror. Haha, sir, you've got such a good vibe. After some thought, I ditched my own car and took a cab to the Carter Corporation building. Who are you here to see? Got an appointment? The receptionist asked. Could you let Miss Carter know? I'm here to deliver a special gift from Alex. At the Carter Corporation CEO's office. Your office is spacious, Carter, but kinda empty, I remarked, sitting on the sofa and looking around. Mr. Thompson, my time's valuable, Misty Carter replied from behind her desk, her beautiful face showing a hint of annoyance. I know you're busy battling the Zhao Corporation, right? I smiled. But what if I told you I'm ready to join you? Would you take me in? She paused, then laughed. I've heard Mr. Thompson has deep feelings for Miss Zhao. Back then, you even merged your design company into Zhao Corporation to save it. Never thought you'd offer yourself as bait to my company for Zhao's sake. She stood up, walked closer, tilting her head and leaning forward. But it's super risky here. Aren't you scared that once you enter the enemy's turf alone, you can't get out and you'll be eaten alive? Our eyes locked, silence hanging for a moment. I burst out laughing. I'm not scared. Since you know I'm the kind of guy who'd do anything for his wife, why not marry me? You know a guy like me who uses his love-struck mindset as a dowry, is willing to sacrifice everything for his loved one. Plus, my design team is still pretty awesome. She didn't say a word, but I knew she was intrigued, not by me, but by the resources I had. Actually, Misty and I were pretty familiar with each other. The Carter Corporation under her control was Zhao Corporation's rival and had caused Emily no small amount of trouble in the business world. When Emily took over Zhao Corporation, it was already on the brink of collapse due to Misty's schemes, and the first bit of luck that revived it was thanks to the men's fashion line I designed. Later, to help Emily, I foolishly dissolved my design company and merged its staff into Zhao Corporation. Over the years, Zhao and Carter Corporations clashed several times, with wins on both sides, and Misty was the person Emily hated the most. After a while, Misty straightened up. Mr. Thompson, you're indeed quite handsome, but I'm not desperate, and I'm not interested in married men. What if I divorce Emily? I stepped closer, looking her in the eye. She was slightly taken aback. Oh well, that would be a different story. She smiled. But Mr. Thompson, you should know, I, Misty, don't tolerate betrayal. She reached up, grabbed my tie with both hands, and smiled seductively. In my view, marriage is indeed a binding contract. But if you want to marry me, you'd better show some sincerity. 30% of Zhao Corporation's shares and my design team. I'll give them all to you. I smiled. Can you handle it, Miss Carter? Misty agreed to my terms. In the following days, I simply moved out and started prepping for life post-divorce. Emily and Jake didn't come looking for me. They were probably too busy with Michael. One day, I went back to grab some forgotten design drafts. As soon as I opened the door, the place was buzzing. Jake was crying in Michael's arms. My parents were fuming and Emily looked unhappy. You actually have the nerve to come back. Who knows where you've been off gallivanting? My dad started berating me immediately. Not taking care of your kid. Not taking care of your wife. Not taking care of your wife. How did I end up raising a kid like you? If Michael hadn't been helping out lately, we wouldn't even know Jake was being bullied at kindergarten. What kind of father are you? Turning your back on your own family. I frowned. Michael quickly stepped forward. Alex, it's not like I want to scold you. But when Jake was bullied at kindergarten, how could you make him apologize first? That must have left a deep scar. Why shouldn't he apologize when he was the one in the wrong? He called another kid a loser and insulted their parents. That's why the other kid hit him. And he didn't even lose out, ended up breaking the other kid's nose. I replied, he didn't lose out. Michael's voice stayed calm. I've been picking him up for Emily these past few days, and he's been so down. But it doesn't matter now. I paid the other family, and they agreed to have their kid apologize to Jake. What? I was stunned. Don't you think that's unfair to the other kid? He's the real victim here. And now his parents have to make him apologize just because I took the money. He should apologize to me. You're biased, bad guy. You're not my dad. I want a different dad. Jake rushed at me, ready to hit me. But Michael held him back. See? The kid's heartbroken. He knelt down and wiped away Jake's tears. I was speechless. Do you really think this is good for him? Enough. We all agree with what Michael did. My father walked over, his voice stern. You didn't grow up with us, and that's on us for not raising you right. That's why you turned out to be such an irresponsible husband and father. If you can't raise your kid properly, let Michael do it. He's way more capable than you. I couldn't help but laugh. Couldn't wait. Could they? I turned to Emily. And you, do you agree with them? This issue is already in the past. She stood up. Stop dragging it out. I let out a long breath. Emily, have you signed the divorce papers? Divorce papers? What papers? Michael seemed clueless, but then his eyes widened as he grabbed the divorce agreement from the table. Alex, you're getting a divorce and want 30% of Zhao Corporation's shares? Don't you think that's too much? How can you be so greedy? Too much. Greedy. I looked at him. When Emily and I got married, Zhao Corporation was on the brink of collapse. It was my designs that brought it back, and I built the current design team. How am I not entitled to 30% of the shares? A big company like Zhao can't survive on just a few designers. Zhao's success is thanks to Emily's hard work. She's been through so much as a woman to get where she is, and you shamelessly claim it was all you. Absent from home, seeking a divorce, and demanding money from your wife. It's a disgrace to the Thompson family to have a son like you. My father added angrily, You didn't see all the work I've put in over the years, so what right do you have to say I don't deserve it? Emily's allergic to alcohol, and who else but me attended all those drinking parties to close big deals? From strategy to planning, from design to production. Which part of the business haven't I overseen personally? And what exactly has Emily done, Alex? Are you really gonna nitpick with your own wife? Are you still a man? Michael moved closer to Emily, who started to look guilty, and pulled her into his arms. Emily immediately leaned into his embrace, sobbing. I felt nothing but cold disdain, and sneered. If I'm not a man, then are any of you even human? You think you can kick me out and enjoy the perks? Even have a loyal lapdog kid to boot. But don't forget, water can carry a boat, but it can also sink it. Enough! Emily suddenly shouted. Everyone went silent. Alex, even though I don't remember you, we were still married. No need to be so harsh with your words, she said, her eyes red. Zhao Corporation is my life's work. I can't agree to 30%. I started laughing. Are you sure? If you're willing to negotiate, I can offer you some financial compensation. Keep your money to hand out to beggars. I looked at her. Emily, I hope you won't regret this. With that, I grabbed the design drafts I needed, slammed the door, and left. I never wanted to see anyone in that house again. It was raining outside, and I didn't have an umbrella. See, I told you not to cause trouble. Now how are you going to fix this? It'll be even harder to get Emily to forgive you. The system kept nagging, quiet for a moment. I found a bench and sat down, reaching out to catch the rain. Water can carry a boat, but it can also sink it. I'm not just making empty threats. This time, I'm determined to teach those disgusting people the meaning of regret. But if I keep fighting for the 30% shares, it'll turn into a long, drawn-out legal battle. Wasting too much time, starting fresh wasn't impossible. But Emily and Michael would definitely try to crush me. It'd be best to leverage Carter Corporation. But without the 30% shares, would Misty still agree to team up with me? Looks like Mr. Thompson's road to divorce isn't going too smoothly. Suddenly, an umbrella appeared over my head. I looked up and was surprised to see Misty. She's been following you, that wicked woman. The system started yelling again. Mr. Thompson looks so pitiful, like a little puppy caught in the rain. She shifted the umbrella to cover me. Getting the 30% shares might take a while, but I've changed my mind. I want to bring Zhao Corporation down ASAP. I'll be honest, I'm confident I can help you win, but it's up to you whether you trust me. She smiled, then suddenly crouched down, leaning in close. And what exactly do you have in mind? After all, Mr. Thompson, you've already used the self-sacrifice tactic on me, and I'm a softie for that. You're so pitiful. I just want to take you home right now. I don't even want those 30% shares anymore. It's more fun to watch your opponent go bankrupt and end up with nothing. She reached out her hand, intertwining her fingers with mine. Hurry up and get that divorce. I can't wait to marry you and watch Zhao Corporation crumble together. But Alex, if you ever betray me, she whispered in my ear, I'll make sure you go down with them. Host, don't act impulsively. Wait. Bang. I stormed into the CEO's office at Zhao Corporation. Divorce. I slapped the new divorce agreement in front of Emily. She frowned. I'm not asking for the shares anymore. Can you sign now? What madness is this? She pinched the bridge of her nose. I told you. I've found someone new, and I'm in a hurry to get married, so we need to get divorced right away. I brushed her off. Just sign it. She suddenly smiled and pulled out a stack of papers from a drawer. Alex, your car's dashboard cam shows you haven't been home lately. You've only been going to the old apartment before we got married. Your movements are so simple. So simple it looks like you have nowhere else to go. She closed the papers, her gaze resolute. You don't have anyone new. All this fuss is just to get my attention by threatening divorce. I finally understood how exasperated someone playing a futile game must have felt. I sat down and called Michael. After his divorce, Emily had arranged for him to work at Zhao Corporation. Why are you calling him? I want him to join the conversation. Michael arrived quickly. As expected, Alex, what are you doing? Emily's super busy with work, and you already pissed everyone off at home last time. This is a company. You can't just act out whenever you feel like it. Shut up and just listen. I cut him off. Emily. I turned to her with a smile. Now that everyone's here, tell me, are you hesitating to let me go? What? She was taken aback. You keep saying you've forgotten me and only remember Michael. But when I want to divorce you, you refuse. Isn't that 'cause you can't bear to let me go? Don't you like Michael as much as you claim? Or is your amnesia fake? Do you actually remember everything about us? That's why you can't let me go? Right. I looked at Michael. What should I do? I had no idea she loved me so much. You shut up. Emily suddenly interrupted me. Clara. Even Michael seemed startled by her outburst. Her expression turned sour, as if I'd hit a nerve. After a long pause, she spoke. Alex, I was only pitying you. I thought since we were married and you had nowhere else to go, I didn't want to sign the papers out of kindness. I haven't remembered you, nor do I have any attachment to you. To me, you're just a stranger. Do you really want a divorce? Fine, I'll grant you that. She waved her hand and angrily signed the agreement. But don't come to regret this. Afraid Emily might change her mind, I dragged her to the Civil Affairs Bureau right after signing the papers. Pick up the divorce certificate in a month. Don't be late. She gave me a cold look and left. What is she so angry about? Wasn't she the one desperate for a divorce in our past life? I muttered as I watched her walk away. What previous life? The system asked. Puzzled. Oh, I forgot. This system doesn't remember the past life. A few days later, Misty called and asked me to meet her at a specific spot. I went, only to find it was the Carter Corporation's haute couture shop. Good day, Mr. Thompson. Miss Carter specifically told us you shouldn't embarrass her at the wedding. Please check out the options or let us know your design preferences and we'll help you out. When I married Emily, I wore a black suit because she liked it and I wanted to make her happy. But honestly, I prefer white suits. This time, I decided to do me and design my own wedding outfit. I spent the entire afternoon trying on clothes, taking measurements, and sketching designs. Then I sent the design to Misty. You like white suits? So do I. She replied quickly. By the way, design a wedding dress for me too, she added. Misty is really beautiful. I imagined she'd look like a princess in a wedding dress. Just then, my phone rang. I thought it was Misty, so I answered without hesitation. Jake has a fever. Come home right now. It was Emily's voice. I took a deep breath, forcing myself to stay calm. We're divorced. Jake's your responsibility now. You're his mother. Can't you take care of him? Alex, how can you be so cold-blooded? The kid's hurting. And you're saying such heartless things. It's Michael. Good, he's there. That makes things easier. I can't come, I said, forcing patience. Bro, don't you love Jake the most? Let me tell you, when he's sick, You need to hold him all night like a baby. Sing him lullabies. Take his temperature every half hour. Oh, and he struggles with medicine. He'll purposely spit it out everywhere, but it's okay. Just mix more doses and give him multiple baths. I have no experience with this. Why are you telling me all this? You're his dad. You should be the one taking care of him. Jake, don't spit on your uncle. Michael, I said coldly, do you think raising a kid is about sneaking him candy, indulging him, spoiling him, and loving his sweet talk? It's not. Raising a kid means sleepless nights, caring for him over and over, endlessly repeating tasks, and being so busy you don't even have time to go to the bathroom, eat, or sleep. If you want to be Jake's dad, you gotta do all this. Alex, the kid's suffering, crying out for his father, and you still want to argue about these trivial things. Emily's voice was full of anger. Of course she's angry. I've always taken care of Jake when he's sick, and she's long been used to it. I told you I'm busy. What exactly are you busy with? Mr. Thompson, do these cufflinks match your wedding outfit? A shop assistant approached me with a smile. The other end of the line went silent. What are you doing? Emily's voice was filled with disbelief. I told her, enunciating every word, I'm prepping for my wedding. In the days that followed, Emily didn't call me again. Meanwhile, Misty and I were busy prepping for the wedding and discussing the next steps for Carter Corporation's clothing design and marketing strategy. The thrill of exploring new territories energized me, with fresh ideas constantly popping up and Misty being a workaholic. We often found ourselves chatting late into the night. I discovered many admirable traits in her: serious, sincere, hardworking. How did such a good girl end up being a villain? A month later, Emily and I agreed to meet at the Civil Affairs Bureau to finalize the divorce. Do you really have someone new? She asked, staring at me outside the bureau. Yeah, I replied. Don't you feel guilty for betraying our marriage? She suddenly asked. I couldn't help but laugh. No, not at all. After all, you don't remember anything except Michael, right? I shrugged. Since you've forgotten, why should I still hold on? We might as well both move on. It's refreshing. I actually shrugged. Since you've forgotten, why should I still hold on? We might as well both move on. It's refreshing. Alex? Michael suddenly appeared, jogging over and affectionately taking Emily's hand. Are you done? Jake and I are waiting for you to join us for dinner. Not yet. Let's hurry up then, I said, taking the lead and walking into the Civil Affairs Bureau. Are you both sure about this? The clerk asked. Yeah, I said. Emily, however, remained silent. Sir, Alex. She suddenly turned to me. Are you really sure? Once we sign, we'll have nothing to do with each other anymore. I sighed. Can you stop stalling? Michael is waiting for you outside. Sis, I just want to know. She continued as if talking to herself. You're so quick to divorce. Does 5 years of marriage really mean nothing to you? We even have a kid. Am I, Emily, really so unworthy of your affection? I quietly looked at the woman I had loved for so many years. In our past life, I didn't want a divorce, and she found me clingy. In this life, I'm the one starting the divorce, and now she finds me too indifferent. So the protagonists get to have it both ways. It's not like that. The past 5 years have been really valuable to me. She suddenly lifted her head, a flicker of light passing through her eyes. After all, it took me 5 years to learn a valuable lesson. Simps never have a good ending. I patted her shoulder, speaking earnestly. Let's both learn from this. Emily's face stayed sullen even after we got the divorce certificate and walked out. Finally done. Ah, was there a long line or something? Michael asked, holding her hand. It was fine. Just then, Emily's phone rang. She answered it. Her face changed drastically. Alex, she grabbed my arm. You made the entire design team quit. Yeah? Why? Why are you so tense? I smiled. Isn't Zhao Corporation built up by Zhao herself? How much could losing one design team affect it? We were married. How could you burn bridges like this? Emily, calm down. I'm a designer too. Remember, it's just one design team. I'll help you build another. To my surprise, she pushed Michael's hand away. Alex, did you do this on purpose? We're about to launch our fall collection, and now so noisy, what's the big deal? Ignoring her, I looked towards the street, waving my arm toward a distant figure. Misty, over here. A Bugatti pulled up in front of me, wearing sunglasses. Misty stepped out of the car. All set. Yeah, Emily was visibly shocked. Misty, what are you doing here? Misty glanced at her, a mischievous glint in her eyes. She delicately linked her arm through mine. I'm here to pick up my fiancé. Fiancé? Emily was stunned, looking at me. Him? Misty nestled herself into my chest, yearning. It's been a while, haven't you? Zhao, are your eyes failing? You, Alex, how could you? She seemed so angry she started coughing violently. Michael quickly supported her. Misty and I exchanged a look and got into the Bugatti. They seem really upset with you. Was it because the design team quit? Misty asked as we drove away. I nodded. And there's something else. What's that? I sighed. I had the design team take down her favorite money tree by the entrance before they left. The news of my marriage to Misty spread quickly. Surprisingly, the most intense reaction came from my parents. You got divorced? Fine. But why is your new wife from Emily's rival family? Don't you know the Thompson family's business depends on the Zhao family? You need to come back and kneel to Emily and apologize. We don't have a son like you. If you don't come back, we'll cut ties with you. So, as they wished, I brought the disownment papers and showed up at their door. I was accompanied by bodyguards. Mr. Thompson, Mrs. Thompson, just sign here and we'll officially sever our parent-child relationship, I said with an innocent smile. After all, they weren't really my parents anyway. My mom clutched her chest, wailing about her misfortune, while my dad, fuming with anger, signed the papers. We should never have taken you back. Do you think marrying that Misty will bring you any glory? She's just an illegitimate daughter of the Carter family, enjoying temporary success but never destined for greatness. When you two get kicked out, the Thompson family won't take you back. Dad's a traitor. Jake suddenly appeared, holding a toy gun, and began shooting at me with it. Sorry, kid, but I'm not your dad anymore. I signaled the bodyguards to take the toy gun away and tossed it aside, then turned to leave. He started wailing behind me. On the day of the wedding, I wore the white suit I had designed for myself, and Misty looked stunning in her mermaid gown. Before we went on stage, Misty asked what I was thinking. I used to genuinely want to be good to everyone, but now I realize that making myself happy is more satisfying. Misty nodded. When dealing with disgusting people, just stop thinking of them as human. After all, they don't behave like people. I agreed wholeheartedly. Feeling like I'd found a kindred spirit, the wedding was grand, spectacular, and full of joy. Except for that night when I was woken up by a phone call in the middle of the night. Alex, I don't understand. What does Misty have that I don't? Emily's voice slurred on the other end, clearly drunk. Of all the people you could choose, why Misty? What is she? She's nothing compared to me. Emily. I hung up the phone without a word. The next time I saw Emily was at a business reception. Misty was holding onto my arm and Michael was leading Emily. It was a harmonious scene. But Emily deliberately came over to pick a fight. I've always wanted to ask, Miss Carter, what trick did you use to deceive Alex? Misty smiled. You're joking, Miss Zhao. We're legally married. Whether it was the word legally or married, something seemed to snap in Emily. She suddenly disregarded the setting and blurted out, Then you must know that Alex and I were deeply in love for the past 5 years. And we have a lovely son together, right? Aren't you supposed to have amnesia? Miss Zhao, how do you remember being in love? Misty smiled. If he was so happy with you, why would Alex have divorced you the moment you lost your memory? Emily clenched her fist in anger. He was happy with me. How would you know if I was happy? Weren't you supposed to have amnesia? I said, growing impatient, tilting my neck slightly, revealing a small red mark. After all, Misty had been pretty enthusiastic the night before, and things got a bit out of hand. Emily's eyes immediately reddened when she saw it. "Ready to leave?" Misty asked me. "Yes, Alex, you've been deceived. You know that. She's just a green tea, a despicable woman." "Miss Carter," I turned back, my voice icy. "We're not that close, so please don't disrespect my wife. Also, do me a favor and call me Mr. Thompson from now on." With that, I turned to leave, but just then, Emily, ignoring Michael's attempts to hold her back, charged at Misty with red eyes, aiming to pull her hair. "Misty, you stole my husband, you despicable woman." The crowd erupted in shock, forming a circle around them in an instant. I was about to step in, but Misty caught Emily's feeble hand mid-swipe. She even twisted it into a painful lock. I sighed. Misty had trained in martial arts. Emily was really asking for it. Amid Emily's ow-ow cries, I heard Misty's voice, tinged with amusement. "A mess, Zhao. Instead of behaving like a romance novel heroine by crying and making a scene, wouldn't it be better to worry about the fate of Zhao Corporation?" After the commotion ended, Misty and I drove home. She was dozing off. I hesitated, then said, "Tonight. Not tonight." Her face flushed immediately. "I was talking about discussing the autumn launch plan tonight." "Oh, work. That's fine." She perked up instantly. I sighed. "Yeah, and although Misty and I have a relationship that might resemble a contract marriage, honesty is our principle, and it's also our way of getting along." On our first night after the wedding, while I was still hesitating, thinking she might need a separate bed and hadn't yet asked her, she simply pulled me into bed. What married couple sleeps separately? I didn't marry a good-looking statue. Since then, we did everything a married couple should do, focusing on not draining each other's energy and living happily together. After that reception, I didn't see Emily for a long time. 3 months later, our autumn launch was a huge success, and for the first time, Carter Corporation's market share in October surpassed Zhao Corporation's. Then, in November, Zhao Corporation suddenly launched the heartfelt menswear collection, with the new chief designer Michael as the lead designer. The heartfelt series received great acclaim immediately upon release, and Michael even appeared on TV for an interview. Facing the camera, he spoke eloquently. "The heartfelt series is inspired by my understanding of love. The logo design concept represents two hearts closely connected. As soon as I saw it, I recognized it as the design draft I had casually created for a small foreign clothing manufacturer before I married Emily." "Where did he dig that up from?" I called that small clothing manufacturer, and they were both surprised and delighted, immediately starting the legal process to protect their rights. A month later, the entire heartfelt series was taken off the shelves, and Zhao Corporation found itself embroiled in a plagiarism lawsuit. Misty, being very kind, lent her best lawyer to the small clothing manufacturer free of charge. Around this time, I received a call from my father. "Your brother was ruined by your old design draft. Why did you give him that draft?" I was baffled. "You need to come to testify in court and say that you gave your brother permission to use the draft." I hung up on them and immediately blacklisted the number. After this incident, Zhao Corporation suffered significant damage. I heard that Emily was particularly angry about Michael's plagiarism, and the two of them fell into a cold war. Perhaps feeling insecure, Michael, during a drunken night, tried to take advantage of Emily while sending her back to her room, intending to get her pregnant. To avoid being disturbed by Jake, he gave Emily's phone to Jake to play with. But Jake knew the phone's password, and while playing his pretend CEO game, he accidentally opened the company's video conference. He ended up live streaming how Michael drugged Emily and everything that followed. The video quickly spread across the internet, becoming a subject of public curiosity and a joke at dinner tables. After sobering up, Emily had a huge argument with Michael and cut off all business relations with the Thompson family. In the days that followed, the tacit understanding between Misty and me only grew stronger. Sometimes, I'd look up from my work halfway through drawing, and she'd know I wanted a drink of water. Under the combined pressure from Misty and me, Zhao Corporation soon fell apart. Their core design team left, other departments were demoralized, and they lost several major contracts. A year later, at the spring new product launch, I, as Carter Corporation's chief designer, took the stage to introduce my design concept. This time, the theme was self-pleasure. People always chase what they like, but more importantly, they should seek to make themselves happy. So we hope that the first person everyone loves is themselves. Never waste time on people or things that aren't worth it, and always believe that you deserve better. Just like myself, I once doubted, felt lost, and suffered. But after remarrying and having a wife I love very much, I'm living a very happy life. I hope all men can be stronger and brave enough to move forward and seek their own happiness. The launch was very successful, with sales hitting a new high that night. That evening, I was holding a glass of wine, resting my eyes, when Misty suddenly snuggled into my arms like a little rabbit. Back already? Yeah. I opened my eyes and met her bright gaze. Mr. Thompson, you gave a brilliant presentation at the launch. She nuzzled my nose. Of course, remarrying and having a wife you love very much. Living a happy life. I smiled and hugged her tightly. What? Can't I compliment you? She laughed softly. Today, I suddenly feel, she murmured as she wrapped her arms around my waist. You're too dazzling. I feel like I want to lock you up so only I can see you. What should I do? The long silent system suddenly popped up. See, I told you she's a yandere. She'll want to imprison you, monopolize you, and you won't be happy with her. With a wave of my hand and 20 points, I muted the system again. At this moment, Misty was removing my tie, clumsily wrapping it around my hands. Her serious expression made me laugh. How did I not notice such an adorable girl in my past life? Dangerous, yet charming. Honest, yet passionate. I took the tie from her hands. Huh? She was puzzled. How did you untie it? That's not important. I lifted my hand, using the tie to blindfold her, and planted a light kiss on her earlobe. I know you like it this way. Jow Corporation's performance plummeted. Michael began posting long-winded complaints online. A grown man whining daily about how Emily had ruined his marriage and then abandoned him. Emily, in turn, accused Michael of deliberately seducing her after his divorce, claiming he was the one who ruined her marriage and damaged her reputation. The two of them argued endlessly on social media. Meanwhile, my father and mother, devastated by the collapse of the Thompson family business, blamed Emily entirely. They constantly caused scenes at Jow Corporation, accusing Emily of destroying Michael's marriage and now refusing to take responsibility for him. Emily, fed up, shouted back at them. What kind of responsibility do I owe him? He ruined my reputation. Everyone saw it. Eventually, unable to take it anymore, Emily tried to escape from Michael and my parents by jumping off a second-floor balcony, accidentally breaking her leg in the process. That night, I was half asleep when I received a call from an unknown number. The person on the other end seemed drunk, mumbling, "Alex, I actually remember everything. Why didn't I cherish you? I regret it so much." Misty was woken up by the call. "Who is it?" I hung up the phone. Just a prank call. A few days later, another call came. It was from my father. "Alex, your birthday is coming up. Your mom and I have made some delicious dishes for you. Come home, and we can celebrate as a family. Oh, and bring Misty too." I replied calmly, "Would you like me to send you another copy of the disownment papers?" Then I hung up the phone. Misty glanced at me. "You've been getting a lot of prank calls lately." I sighed and added the number to my blacklist. One day, Misty and I were passing by Jake's kindergarten and saw him being bullied by some older kids. "Hey, isn't this the rich Jake? Why is he picking up trash now?" Jake started crying loudly. "My dad is the boss of Carter Corporation." "Foo, he's super rich. Don't underestimate me. I'll have my dad come and beat you all up." "Should we step in?" Misty asked me. I shook my head. "Let's go." Carter Corporation's clothing business kept growing. One day, a colleague from the public relations department told me someone was selling fake goods under the name of Carter Corporation in a live stream. Just as I was wondering who'd dare, I found out the live stream was being managed by none other than Michael, with my parents as the hosts. We're the parents of Alex, the chief designer of Carter Corporation. They were shamelessly showing off my childhood photos, offering these special prices to our loyal customers. Misty asked how I wanted to handle it. Proceed with legal action, demand compensation, and let the law take its course. No settlements. The live stream was quickly shut down, and our lawyer filed a lawsuit. Alex, how could you treat your parents like this? Where's your conscience? A few days later, they showed up at Carter Corporation's entrance with Michael, causing a scene. I was fed up, so I called the police. Later, all three were detained for public disturbance, and they still had the lawsuit and compensation to deal with. That day, I came home a bit earlier than Misty with a good bottle of wine. Why are you hiding in the closet? The system asked. Puzzled. For fun. To surprise her. I gently closed the closet door. Aren't you two getting a bit too creative? You never repeat anything. The system scoffed. One more word and I'll mute you. That's not how you're supposed to use points, it protested. Shut up. Just then, Misty returned, and I fell silent, peeking at her through the crack in the door. She was standing by the floor-to-ceiling window with her back to me. What's wrong? You're just staring at her. Do you like her door? She was standing by the floor-to-ceiling window with her back to me. What's wrong? You're just staring at her. Do you like her that much? The system clicked its tongue. I was about to tell it to be quiet when I suddenly heard Misty speaking. I froze. Because she said, System, am I about to succeed? I was stunned on the spot. I couldn't hear the response from Misty's system, but from her words, I realized Misty was also a host in a strategy game. However, her success condition was to defeat Carter Corporation's competitor, Zhao Corporation, and drive it to bankruptcy. System, did you know all along that she was also a host? Is that why you wouldn't let me target her? My system stammered and didn't answer. No wonder, in the original setup, Misty and I were, in a way, locked in a zero-sum game. If I succeeded in winning Emily back and living a happy life with her, Zhao Corporation would likely not fall with my support. Likewise, if Misty managed to topple Zhao Corporation, Emily's pride wouldn't allow her to live a poor life with me, and my strategy would most likely end in failure. We were both supposed to win only at the other's expense. But now I suddenly opened the closet door. Alex. Misty immediately turned around, surprised. You. Meeting her slightly bewildered gaze, I smiled and raised the bottle of wine in my hand. I heard everything. Congratulations on your success. Let me explain. She suddenly looked flustered. No need, because I'm also one. What? She was stunned. I smiled. Tonight we should have a long talk. Misty told me that in her original world, her mother was falsely accused and forced to divorce to ensure Misty received the best education. Her mother worked multiple jobs and eventually succumbed to illness due to overwork. After growing up, Misty returned to the Carter family and fought for power against her half-brother, ultimately defeating everyone and becoming the head of Carter Corporation. She even managed to send the stepmother who had wronged her mother to prison, but she herself collapsed from exhaustion and fell into a coma. Perhaps it was because of the strong unwillingness I felt that the system came to me, asking if I was willing to come to this world as a strategy player. She turned her head and noticed my expression. Alex, what's wrong? I shook my head. It's nothing. I just thought of my father in my original world. Coincidentally, I also grew up in a single-parent household, and my father sacrificed a lot for me when I was young. Later, he met someone, but her family didn't agree to her being with a man who already had a kid. Knowing he liked her, I didn't want him to give up his happiness because of me. So I left him voluntarily, only sending him occasional holiday greetings to let him know I was okay. Eventually, he got married, had more children, and I secretly checked in on him. Seeing him live well made me happy. I haven't contacted him in a long time. Luckily, he doesn't know about my illness. Misty put down her wine glass and hugged me. Having you as his son, he must be very happy. At that moment, Misty's phone pinged with a new message. Zhao Corporation has officially declared bankruptcy. Misty's strategy was a success. Misty asked me what my strategy target was. I didn't tell her the truth. I've actually already succeeded in my strategy, but I've decided to stay here because I like it here, I said. The system seemed confused. What's the point of telling her? I smiled. The fact that I haven't succeeded yet means that in her heart, I'm not the most important person. This isn't something that can be achieved just because she pities me. But maybe it could increase your chances. I shook my head. System, I don't want to beg anyone for love anymore. A few days later, Misty's system urged her to claim her reward and return to her original world. She came to discuss it with me. I agree. I nodded. You've been here long enough. If you don't go back soon, you might lose everything you worked so hard for. But I'm worried about you, she said, looking at me. What's there to worry about? I shrugged. You're leaving me with such a big company. I won't be able to spend all this money in my lifetime. I'm more than happy. Is this really what you want? I nodded. Yes, I'm absolutely sure. So she transferred the company to me and bought a ticket to leave the country. On the day she left, it started to rain lightly. I didn't go to see her off. Once she leaves, you'll have officially failed your strategy, the system said in my ear. Yeah, you see, I told you not to choose her. There's no good ending. But you wouldn't listen. I laughed. System. You know what? This time here has been the best I've ever had in this world. I didn't have to be anyone's simp. Didn't need anyone's approval to feel good about myself. I could do whatever I wanted. Never compromising. Taking revenge when I felt like it. And enjoying life when I wanted to. I think it was worth it. The system sighed. Actually, I secretly checked the data. You were really close with Misty. Maybe I could try to get approval for you to stay in this world. But you'd have to take on a new identity. And you wouldn't be able to keep your wealth or anything. Sure, thanks. Looking up, I noticed the rain was getting heavier. Ah, I didn't bring an umbrella. Oh well, getting wet isn't so bad. After all, there isn't much time left. I just sat there on the park bench, tilting my head back, eyes closed, letting the rain run down my hair. Suddenly, an umbrella was held over my head. I opened my eyes. The girl who was supposed to be on the plane was standing in front of me with an umbrella. I stared at her in disbelief. Why are you? Right before boarding, I noticed it was raining, she said, holding the umbrella. I figured you might not have brought one, so I came back. See, I guessed right. I just like getting wet in the rain, I said stubbornly. Aren't you going to miss your flight? Her eyes suddenly turned red. Alex, it's rare to meet someone you really like in a lifetime. She sat down beside me and sighed. Today, as I was looking at the rain, I couldn't bear the thought that some other sneaky woman might come along and hold an umbrella for you. So I tilted her head. I guess I'd better stay and keep an eye on you. I was stunned. What are you talking about? In your original world, you fought so hard to achieve all those things. Your career, your success. Are you going to give it all up? Yes, she nodded. I'm giving it all up. Those things, now that I think about it, don't seem so important anymore compared to all that. Seeing you makes me happier. Are you crazy? This is just love brain, you know that. Aren't you love brain too? She said softly. So, aren't we a perfect match? Bang! The streetlight suddenly went out, and in the darkness, a warm kiss touched my lips. I was held tightly, and just then, a strange voice spoke from above. Congratulations, host, on successfully completing the strategy of conquering the Villainess. Misty and I were finally ready to return home. We handed over Carter Corporation to her sister, who had just returned to this world, and together, we boarded a plane to leave the country. On our last day in this world, we embraced each other in the snow, watching the stunning northern lights in the distance. As a shooting star streaked across the sky, a familiar voice emerged from the aurora. I am the system deity. Congratulations to both strategy players. Now I will activate the time-space tunnel to return you both to your original worlds, with fully restored and healthy bodies. And Alex, because you chose a strategy player as your target, increasing the difficulty, you are eligible for an additional reward. What would you like to exchange your points for? System deity. I looked up at the sky. I've always had a question. Go ahead. On the day I was reborn, I heard your voice saying that I was reborn because I had achieved a marriage milestone and exchanged points. But at that time, I shouldn't have had any points. I want to know, where did the points that allowed me to be reborn come from? The system deity seemed to pause for a moment. They came from your father in your original world, it finally said. Not long after you fell into a coma, your father discovered it and stayed by your side in the hospital. When your body in this world was about to be erased, your original body also experienced acute failure. Your father dreamed about your failure in the strategy and knelt down, praying to exchange 10 years of his own life for a second chance for you. My tears burst forth almost instantly. It was my father. It was my father, the father who had always loved me and never gave up on me. Can I exchange all my points to extend my father's life? I choked out. Of course you can. You can increase his life by 20 years. Misty hugged me tightly. Alex, let's go home. Back to see your father. That night, under the brilliant northern lights, Misty and I held hands and went home together. Doctor. Doctor, doctor, come quickly. My son moved. He moved. When I opened my eyes again, I was lying in a hospital bed. Beside me was my father, who had been watching over me. Alex. It's Dad. Dad's been here the whole time. I reached up, grasping his rough hand, and smiled softly. I'm back. He nodded vigorously, tears streaming down his face. Next came a series of medical examinations. A miracle. It's a real miracle. His body's perfectly fine, the doctor marveled. A nearby nurse giggled. I told you our hospital has good feng shui. The lady in the VIP room just woke up too. You mean the female CEO from the city's wealthiest family? Exactly. Everyone said there was no hope, that she was only surviving on a ventilator, and then she suddenly got better. But it seems her mind isn't working quite right yet. I heard she's having the Carter family search the whole city for someone named Dave. No one knows if it's an enemy or something else. Wait, what name did you say she's looking for? I asked. Stunned. Mr. Thompson, your name sounds pretty close, doesn't it? The nurse leaned in with a mischievous grin. You'd better not get mistaken for someone else. Where's the VIP room? I asked urgently, grabbing the nurse's arm. 16th floor. I jumped out of bed immediately. Hey, Mr. Thompson, your shoes. I rushed to the 16th floor in the elevator. At the end of the hallway was the VIP room. I pushed the door open. There were quite a few people in the room, but Misty wasn't among them. The bed in the distance was empty. Excuse me, sir, who are you looking for? Someone asked. I might be in the wrong place. He's Alex, a familiar voice suddenly said from behind me. I turned around abruptly. She was standing right there behind me, dressed in a hospital gown, thinner than before, but still just as beautiful. Our eyes met and we both smiled. I walked closer and pulled her into a tight embrace. Alex, she whispered in my ear, at our wedding here, will you still wear a white suit?